Boogie Major.
KT, we got the heat, we stomp around in this nasty beat. When we walk through, all you see is we. Now watching us, it's a new tea. We got black girl magic, and melanin brown skin. Our daddy from the islands, I know mama raised some diamonds. Black cardigan is a new trend. Don't forget you still gotta tell your friends.
Wow. What's up, Knockout Gang? So today, okay, can I first just start by saying I really do apologize for not being here for so long. As you can see, Tonsi is not here today. That's because today's story time is it's about an experience that I personally have went through, and she wasn't really involved in that story. So, you know, sometimes you will see just me, and sometimes you will see just her for her crazy stuff that she got going on or had going on or whatever. So today's story time is you know, it's gonna be about why some may portray me to be psycho. I'm not. This is just an experience that I had in the past, okay? This isn't me. This is just experience that I went through in my past relationship that was toxic. You know, everything's okay these days, you know. There's no beef or anything like that. This is just funny, and I can laugh about it now. I can laugh about the past now, okay? So let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna call this person Steve, okay? Few years back, I was in a toxic relationship, okay? It was my first real relationship. You know, it was my first real relationship, so, you know, you could be really invested in, and like, you know, sometimes blind, and sometimes some may say dumb. Okay, some, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so this was a few years back. This is at the time I was living, I was like renting out, but living in a basement of my best friend's parents. They rented their basement out to me. So Steve, he I can't remember if he was kicked out of his mom's house or if it was because she moved, or I'm not sure. All I know is that I invited him to live with me, and you know, I asked my best friend's parents and everything, and they was like, well, since we love you, we'll do this for you. We'll let you do this, okay? So, you know, that's what happened, right? Okay, me and Steve were going to school together. We were doing IT. We were in a class for doing IT. So we were driving together every day, you know, going to class together every day and everything like that. But so he had his own car, I didn't have a car. So we were driving together, we were carpooling to class and everything. But one day he was smoking in this house like every day, even though he knew that was not allowed because my best friend's dad was in the military, okay? One day, my best friend's mom, she found out that he was smoking because she smelt it coming through the vents upstairs. This is like a 3-story house. It was a nice house. It was a big house. It was a great basement, great opportunity, okay? He was even setting up a freaking studio in a room in the basement, okay? So I don't know why he would. Anyways, so she smelt it one day. I came home, and I think she had both of us come upstairs, and she sat us on the couch and was like, or was it just me that they sat on the couch? I think it was just me. He wasn't there. I think I had to tell him that he had to leave. I can't remember. But anyway, she sat us down and said, not okay. Katrina, you can stay, but he has to go because that is just unacceptable. Okay, so fast forward. He's not living there anymore. I am. For some weird reason, he was upset at me, I think, for staying there after they kicked him out for smoking in their house. He was upset at me, so our relationship was, you know, it was a little rocky. And let's just be clear, they did not like him. I'm not sure if I ever told him that, but they did not like this man at all. So what they did was they let me drive their Tahoe. It was like a Chevy Tahoe truck. I loved it so much, but they let me drive it because they was like, look, I don't want you to have to depend on him to get to school, so you can use the car, you know, you can have this car while you're here type thing. So I was like, that's lit, you know, that's cool. I mean, thanks. One day I go to school and he's not there. Okay, he didn't show up. I'm thinking maybe he'll be late, you know, or something like that, but he never showed up. I'm texting him, I'm like, where you at? Why are you not here? And I think he may have texted me back once throughout the whole day and was like, he just not feeling it today. And I'm like, I don't trust this. So instead of staying at school and getting my motherfucking education, I tell them that I think I told them I'm not feeling good or something. Oh, gosh. I think I tell them that I'm not feeling good or something, and I have to go because, you know, a woman's intuition, okay? A woman's intuition, okay? Yeah, so I leave, and previously I put his location on my phone without him knowing. Don't judge me, okay? Do not judge me. Previously I did put his location on my phone without him knowing, and I was just hoping that I wouldn't have to use it one day, but I did. So I'm on my way back to motherfreaking Indian Head, and I put up his location. Mind you, at this time I didn't know that you could click on somebody's location and hit directions and it'll literally take you there. I didn't know that. So my psycho self, I'm like, okay, I see it's a straight line down Indian Head. Let me just follow this until it tells me I'm closer. So I get down there to down there to where it was at, and I'm like, okay, how do I figure out exactly like where he is now that I'm near it? I don't know exactly like what house. So I'm looking for landmarks at this time. I'm looking on the GPS thing, like the thing, and it says a building, the name of a building that he's near. So I'm like, okay, let me drive until I see this building. So I see it. There's no houses around, so I'm like, okay, where could he be? So I have to drive around into this neighborhood that was behind this building, and I'm like, okay, so I'm driving, and then boom, I see his car. I see this man's car, and I'm like, don't freak out. You don't know whose house he's at. You don't know if, you know what I mean? You don't know if it's a female. So his car is parked in the middle of like two houses, and I'm like, okay, which one should I go to? Any, mini, miny, mo, catch a toe, okay? I don't know which one, but I'm going to one of them. If he's not there, then I'm going to the other one. So I go to the one house, you guys. Mind you, I wasn't calling him because I was like, woman's intuition, I need to catch him in the action. Okay, so I go to the first house that I any, mini, miny, and I knock on the door. Nobody's coming to the door. So I keep knocking. Nobody's coming to the door. Now I'm thinking about it, he probably was like, don't answer it, she's crazy. I'm knocking on the door, and then finally some girl comes to the door. My heart is racing because I'm like, please tell me that he's not here. So I'm like, is Steve here? I'm looking for Steve. Is he here? And so she's like, so I'm like, I'm looking for Steve. Is he here? And she's like, who are you? I'm his girlfriend. So is Steve here? And she's like, hold on. She closes the door. She didn't invite me in or nothing. She closes the door, and like, I kid you not, maybe like 10 or 15 whole minutes later, this man comes to the door, and he's looking at me like, what the heck are you doing here? And I'm like, what is going on? Like, who is this? What is going on? Why are you here? And he's like, what are you doing here? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, Steve, what is going on? Why are you here? You know, I'm tripping at this point. I'm going crazy. I'm acting a fool, right? So he's like, we're not together. I'm like, what? Are you serious? Since when? When did we break up? I need to know. When did we break up? I missed that part, okay? So he's like, we're not together. And I'm like, literally, if I leave, we're done. Like, if I leave, we're done. He's like, we are done. Like, we're already done. I'm like, oh. Okay, that is so cool. Okay, peace out. Peace out. Peace out, okay? So the day goes, I leave, I'm shaking, I'm literally like in disbelief. Like I'm in disbelief that this even happened. Mind you, we had been together for like almost 4 years. 4 years was coming up in this relationship, okay? This is crazy. So yeah, later on that night, who texted me? Can we take a wild guess? No, we didn't text each other at all. We went to school together. Not together, but we went to school. We both went to school separately, but I'm in class and I'm like, this is not okay. So at lunchtime, I go to my truck and he comes out there and he comes over there and he's like talking to me and stuff, and I'm like, what is going on? And like, what's really happening? I can't remember the exact conversation, but call me Boo Boo the fool. We ended up back together. Okay? Call me Boo Boo the fool, because I was a fool. You know what I mean? It's blinding. Things like situations, it's blinding, okay? We start talking again, we start getting back into the groove and everything, and then one day I was driving my truck and he was driving his car, and we pulled up at the gas station. Y'all will literally never guess who pulls up at the gas station. I cannot make this up. This girl pulls up at the gas station, the same girl from that day that I went to her house. She pulls up at the gas station. And his friend, he's just smirking, he's laughing, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, so she gets out the car and she gives him a hug, and I'm like, so I say, Steve, come here, okay, come over here. So I give him a kiss to see, you know what I mean, how's he gonna react. But he gave me a kiss, so I'm like, okay, that's cool, maybe, I don't know. So him and his friend, they actually go inside, and she comes over to my window, y'all. She comes over to my window. So I had to roll that bad boy down, okay? So I'm like, what's up? And she's like, so, like, what are you guys? And I was like, do you want to get in? Like, you can get it. Like, get in. Let's talk. She's like, okay. So she gets in the car. And I'm like, so what's up? She's like, no, I just want to, like, ask you, like, what are you guys? Like, what are you guys? And I was like, that's my boyfriend. Why? And she's like, that is so wild. Like, that's funny. That's so wild. I'm like, why? What's funny? And she's like, because he told me that you was his sister. And your name was Carmen or something like that. I was like, you're lying. Like, at this point, she's lying. She's like, no, I'm dead serious. When you came to my house, first of all, she's like, when you came to my house, first of all, I was like, she's bold. Like, she's bold for coming to my house, like actually knocking on my door. Like, she's bold. And I'm like, yeah, that was crazy. But she's like, yeah, but I was like, who was that? And he was like, yeah, that's my sister, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I know you're lying. And she's like, no, seriously, but I just wanted to come and, let you know that he's been talking to me. He's been telling me, like, he wants me to have his baby. Like, he loves me. Like, he wants us to be together. He wants me in his life forever. And And I'm like, stop lying. Like, you're lying. Like, come on, stop lying. I get it. You know what I mean? But she's like, no, but I'm just telling you, like, you can have him. And I'm like, Boo Boo the fool. Okay, thanks. Thanks. Like, I was so dumb. This is so cringy. Like, do not judge me. Like, anyways, I hate this, but okay. So yeah, she's like, I just want you to know you can have him. I'm done with him. That's some F-boy stuff and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like, okay, like, thanks for letting me know. So she gets out her car, my car. She gets in her car and she leaves. He comes out the gas station and he's like, what's going on? I was like, nothing. She just we was just talking in my car. And he was like, about what? I was like, don't worry about it, we'll talk later. So, oh, I forgot, me and her, we exchanged numbers while she was in my car. We literally exchanged numbers. So I'm telling him the whole conversation. No, I'm on the phone telling him the whole conversation. And he's like, she's lying, I never said none of that, I never said you was my sister, she's lying. I was like, okay, let's call her on three-way, shall we? And he's like, what? You're doing too much. And I'm like, oh, now I'm doing too much. Like, what's, I thought she was lying. Let's figure it out right now. Let's figure it out. I call her on three-way. I call this girl on three-way. I cannot make this up, y'all. I really wish I could. This dude switches it all the way up. Like, he must have been in love with this girl after being with her, meeting her for like 3 weeks now, maybe less than that. He must have been in love with this girl, because he's telling me, he's on the phone and he's like telling her that I'm lying and that he wants to be with her like on three-way. Like, I don't get it. He's telling her like on the phone and she's like, nah, F that, I don't want to be with you, da, 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 da. You're a liar. And I'm like, wow, are you serious? I'm literally a clown right now. I'm a clown on the phone, like like, what? Are you serious? Are you serious? Like, I just want this man to die at this point. Like, I want him dead. Like, I want him out of my life. But like I said, things are complicated when you have this mindset and when you're in relationships and, you know, blah 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 blah, first relationships at that, you know what I mean? So we get off the phone, he goes to school, and at this point he's really not talking to me no more. Like, obviously we're done and he's really not talking to me anymore. Wow, I'm so petty. So me and this girl followed each other on Snapchat. We followed each other on Snapchat and we was watching each other's stories like a mug. Like, we never missed a story of each other's. So one of these days I'm like, okay, I know, you know what I mean, like, he effed me over, let me F him over, okay? Because this is messed up, you know what I mean? So one day she's posting, I think she's at the club or something. I'm watching the story like a dummy. She's at the club and the song come on. What was the song? It was like, I got your man and you can't do anything about, you know that song. I was sick. I was like, I know she doing this for me. I know she want me to see this so bad. This is so messed up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pissed at this point because I like, she know what she doing. Okay, so I go on my Snapchat and I just type, I type something up and I say, wow, that's so sad that this man is really using this girl for a home because he's homeless. I say that. I post it on my story and I'm like, either this could work or it don't work. I won't know because I don't talk to either one of them. You know what I mean? So mind you, I be looking, he still didn't know that I still had his location after this. So, you know, time after time I would still check his location and he would be at her house and I'd be so pissed off. But anyways, so one day I love it. One day after school, no, during lunch break, he comes to my car and I'm like, can I help you? And he's like, what did you tell her? And I'm like, what do you mean, what did I tell her? I didn't tell this girl nothing. He's like, did you tell her I'm only using her for her house or something like that? I was like, what? I don't even talk to this girl. This girl's crazy. I never said that to her. And he's like, you're lying. She said that you said da, 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 da. And I'm like, I don't know where she got this from, but I deleted the girl's number. I literally don't talk to this girl. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And he's like, I'm just, you know what, just, you know, he's mad. He's like, just stay out of it. And I'm like, okay, whatever, bye. But I was loving it. Oh, I was loving it because it worked. Let me see, did anything happen after that? So, well, besides the fact that we started talking again after that, there was nothing else. Yeah. So that's the end of the psycho story. All right, you guys, that's gonna wrap up our video for today. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, because unfortunately there are more. It's really unfortunate that there are more, but there are. So if you guys liked this video, thought it was interesting, had a laugh, had a cry, had whatever sort of reaction, then like this video, comment down below, subscribe, okay, and share this video with everybody you know, because why wouldn't you? Okay, so I love you, KO gang, and I will see you next video.
Boogie Major.
KT, we got the heat, we stomp around in this nasty beat. When we walk through, all you see is we. Now watching us, it's a new T. We got black girl magic, and melanin brown skin. Our daddy from the island, and our mama raised